All right, let's move on to Beanball portion of the show and all things Major League Baseball. We've had some trades take place over the past few days. Scherzer and Trea going to the Dodgers is obviously a very big move. You look at I think the playoffs are pretty much set. I think, as far as in the National League. We'll get to the American League in a moment. But the winner of the NL East, there's only be one team coming out of the East, whether it's the Mets or the Braves or the Phillies. That's going to be one team there. I think Milwaukee is going to be coming out of the Central. And you look at the West, all three of those teams are probably going to be in the playoffs. The Giants, Dodgers, and the Padres. Who wins that division? And that's important because whoever wins that division doesn't have to play in that wild card game. Because I think the two teams out of the West that don't win the division are going to be in that one game wild card, and then you got to face the winner. Right now, for the sake of the way the standings are, the Giants. The Giants had a big one yesterday over the Dodgers. Giants, surprise story of all of Major League Baseball. Probably picked to finish fourth or fifth in that division and are now leading it and are in contention for the best record in all of baseball. So the Giants, I think, are a team that is very formidable and will be in the playoffs. But the Dodgers, you look at that rotation. If those if you could go with Scherzer, Bueller, and Kershaw, that's a tremendous top three. I don't think you'll see Trevor. And then this trade also tells me Trevor Bauer's not playing the rest of the year. He's on administrative leave for the sexual assault allegations that he is currently facing. He's not going to pitch for the Dodgers again this year. Now, will he pitch for them ever again? That's another debate. We'll see how the legal system plays out. But that legal system is not going to play out in the next month or two. That's going to play out into the off season as far as the allegations go. So he's not going to be back with the team for the rest of the year. And I'm not saying he's guilty or innocent. That's just the way these things work out when you're on the administrative leave. It's not a claim of guilt or innocence, but you're not on the team. You're still getting paid, but you're not on the team or playing for the team. So with that trade, though, I think that means he's not coming back. So Scherzer gives him a very nice piece in that regard. Look at Anthony Rizzo and Joey Gallo going to the Yankees. When I first saw these moves, I'm like, the Yankees need pitching more than hitting. Outside of Garrett Cole, who do you trust in that rotation? Nobody. But I think that they've realized that in the end, we're just going to try to outslug teams. And their left-handed hitting has been porous this year. As far as I think they're low in the league in batting average and home runs and everything like that. With Gallo and Rizzo, you get a lot of that. With Gallo, you get power. He gets on base quite a bit with the walk. He strikes out a lot, but he does draw a good amount of walks, and he can hit the long ball. And playing in Yankee Stadium with that short porch, that's a good thing. Rizzo solidifies that first base position. He's a good hitter all around, power and for average. Good defender, solid guy. He's going to fit really well with that team. Now, the Yankees, you look at them, they're out of the playoff picture right now. They're not going to win the division, even with these moves. You got to figure Boston and Tampa are going to be the teams to beat they're going to be the top two teams in that division. And the Blue Jays have a say as well in that. But the Yankees, I think, are 2 games out of the second wild card spot, which for a lot of teams you would think would not necessarily be in playoff contention, but it's the Yankees. They're not going to trade away talent. They're always going to be all in and try to compete. And I think these moves, show that. Will it work out for them? I don't know. I think there are too many teams that they're going to have to contend with to be in. And then look at the AL picture. I think Tampa and Boston are going to be playoff teams coming out of the East. I think the Central, it only gets one team in the playoffs, and that's going to be Chicago. The White Sox will be that team. The West is interesting because you have the A's, you have obviously the Astros who are top of the division, and then the Mariners who traded away their closer, but with the Poto, I don't know what he's doing there with that. But I think there are a lot of teams for the Yankees to try to leapfrog to get into the postseason. So I don't know if it's necessarily going to work, but they're going for it. So we'll see what happens there. Kyle Schwarber going from Washington to the Red Sox. He's revived his career. Remember, he had a really good start to his career with the Cubs. Slowed down a bit went to Washington and had a really good run for them. Making the All-Star team, hitting a lot of home runs from the leadoff spot. He's back healthy, and now he's with Boston, who probably get Chris Sale back at some point this year. Now, will Sale be the dominant guy we've seen in the past, the Cy Young winner, world champion caliber pitcher? Probably not, coming off the Tommy John surgery. But can he give you 5 or 6 innings every few days and then rev himself up for the postseason? He can do that. So Boston, I think that's going to be. I think they're not necessarily looking for pitching. I think that's going to be their trade deadline acquisition, just getting Sale back. So I think Boston puts themselves in a very good position to be in the postseason. So we'll be keeping track of that as we roll along.